And that should do it. Welcome back. Really hate Thieves. My brother had almost a complete set of TurboGrafx games and system. Almost a complete set of Master System games. System all stolen from him. We know it was someone that knew him. Just we never found out who it was. Yeah, that's the real shame too. Because I thought about that. Like, I don't really, I don't know. I don't really have anyone that I suspect that would have been the thief in my case, but could have been someone I knew. When we were doing the police report, the cop asked me, he's like, like if I could think of anyone that would might have been a suspect, I guess, and I was like, well, not really, because if anyone who's been in my house, if anyone who'd been in my house would be the kind of person that would do that to me, then I think I had bigger problems in my life than just some stolen goods. But no, I would agree with you. I do not have a tremendously high opinion of thieves. Nothing else in the house was touched. Just the games and systems. Their brand new PlayStation 4 and TVs they didn't touch. They specifically knew the retro stuff was insanely valuable. Yeah, then I would say that. See, that's the thing. They didn't touch any of my retro stuff. The people who burglarized me, they only took new stuff. So it was clear that they were taking stuff that was easy to liquidate. I don't think there was any potential they were stealing it because it was stuff they wanted. It was all stuff they could just turn into cash right away. And like, yeah, they took the controllers, because I had extra controllers for some of the consoles that they stole. And they took the time to dig out the extra controllers, but they didn't take any games. Feel bad, my brother doesn't like going on vacation anymore. And he's just about quit collecting games altogether. I gotta say, I can definitely relate. I've always described myself as kind of a homebody, but I don't think I can deny that yeah, since the burglary, I don't really like leaving. Jelly can tell you, I don't like leaving our house overnight. Well, our opportunity to search this level, I think, is about to come up. Oh no, I didn't take the opportunity to search the level. Why did I finish it? I was daydreaming. My drive to collect hasn't really been affected. But then again, they didn't steal any of the stuff that I cared the most about, so... If they had stolen significant chunks of my retro collection, I might feel very differently. Because like I say, like if I lost a significant portion of the collection I have now, I don't think I would bother to replace most of it. Not with prices being what they are, especially. That remote-controlled car is such a scam. It drove amongst them, and they were all together in a group. It drove right around them and didn't hit a single one. It crashed itself into the wall. That's so disgusting. See, that made more sense. I'm still not happy that one behaved like that, but it didn't drive through the crowd. My baseball got me. I was betrayed by my own baseball. Things have gotten rough. All right, let's take a moment to explore the level before we finish and fail out. I like these cabins up here. What's going on over here? There's like a stampede. What are they? Bison? It's kind of cool. I don't know how much of this stage I can actually drive backward through. Prices are so high now. When he started collecting about 10 years ago, it was much more way more manageable. Yeah, I mean that's what I always say to people. Like, you know, I've got a really nice retro collection, but I have it because I'm lucky. I started buying stuff really early. It was all dirt cheap when I got into collecting. Nobody cared about it. I bought my NES. The NES that I had an NES when I was a kid, but at some point my parents got rid of it. After we got the Super Nintendo, I don't really know how or why or exactly when, but the NES I have now I actually bought off of a classmate when I was in middle school, in 6th or 8th grade, somewhere around there. I don't actually know the year, but I know it had to be one of those 2 grades because of who I bought it from. But it was the NES with all the all the cords, the zapper, a couple controllers, and a handful of games for $20. Was the deal we struck. I don't remember what all games I got. I think the 3 Mario games were part of it. And maybe 3 or 4 others on top of that. Looks like elk and bison. All right, I'll trust you, Tusk. The AI said not today, Frownie. That it did. Infinite Skyline, welcome in. Turn that Frownie upside downy. If he got the channel points. Merry Christmas to you, Infinite Skyline. Thank you for joining us. How are you? Doing well, doing well. I just ran out of my snacks. I had some cheese and some coffee, but they're all gone now. But spirits are high. I'm having fun. All the good tidings. Good Yule unto you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you. And there it is. Santa will be relieved. Yeah, I've been right side up this whole time. Santa's been upside down. Poor guy. I'm sure he really appreciates this. Alright, so sorry we're getting off to rough starts with this level here. Yellowstone. A gift and happy Yule, Tusk says. No! I thought... So I went into the grass, which slowed me down, right? I knew the grass slows you down terribly, but I was using the speed booster. I thought that would... I thought the speed booster would overcome the slowdown of the grass. I learned a valuable lesson. That is not the case. And I ruined this attempt. Oh. Oh, it hurts. This is a really tough track. No. Oh, if I hit one of those rocks, it's basically over. I don't think there's any recovery once you fall behind on this stage. Goofy's impossible to catch. What a jerk. Never mind. A miracle happened. It's a Christmas miracle. I still have to do it again on a harder difficulty. Thank you for the GG. Unfortunately, we're just getting started, though. Alright, you know what? We're gonna throw this attempt away. We're to explore. We're gonna go looking for that part. This is a big open level. There's a lot of room for stuff to be hidden. Oh, if I can get the camera in the wall, I can even cheese the search a little bit by looking around out of bounds. Yeah, like that. Hey, we got another raid coming in. Nice. Let's have everybody come in, get settled in. Start saying our hellos. There we are. Blue Collar Gamer 222, welcome in. Thank you for coming along. Pleasure to have you here. What in the name of Mario Kart is this? You're not far off. You're not far off. There we are. Big Evil Gaming. Welcome in. Welcome to you. Welcome to your friends. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Blue Collar Gaming. And all the rest of the Raiders. Big Evil Gaming. Let's give our friend a shout out. Merry Christmas, my friend. Thank you, thank you. You're playing Dark Souls. Right on. How did it go? How did Dark Souls treat you tonight? We're playing Mickey Speedway USA. This is a game I got for Christmas. Like more than 2 decades ago. So I'm just enjoying some nostalgia tonight. It's a Mario Kart clone, but it's made by Rareware, too, I believe. And it's actually a pretty good Mario Kart clone. A little, maybe a little underwhelming in its depth and features, but by no means a bad game. It's been a lot of fun. It's kind of challenging. Right now, we're actually doing some exploring. There's a side quest in the game. You're supposed to find there are 4 hidden collectibles scattered throughout the game. And so right now I'm not actually competing in the race. I'm just poking around the track hoping to find a collectible. So might oh, nope, that's a baseball. So we might not be up to a whole lot here for a moment. Well, welcome in. Hey, Raiders. Another raid back to back. Patty, thank you for the raid. Hey, very happy to have you here. Pleasure to meet you. Happy to have all your friends come along. Welcome in, Raiders. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, happy holidays. I hope you're all well tonight. What were you doing over in the retro category, my friends? How did your stream go? Come in and tell us all about it. I'm going to take just a moment here and click through. Patty, welcome to the party. So I'm going to take a look at your page here and give you a follow. Professional dum-dum. All right, I could definitely relate. That's wonderful. Hey, thank you everybody for coming in. Very happy to have you all here with us. It's a lot of people to welcome in. I'm gonna do my best. Zephyr Bastion, Wampasaurus, Armageddon, Globo Kaiser, Panda in Shorts. There's some people with some wonderful names here. How to say that? FTI Weerar? Almar. Not sure how to say the second part there. Twig. Retro Pajama. Nihilistic Radish. So many wonderful people. Rainman L. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the holiday wishes. Playing Mario Party 3 and Wheel of Fortune for the N64. Great. I love some N64. Continuing the N64 vibes. Wonderful. I've never played... I actually don't think I've ever played either of those yet. It's hard to go wrong with I think very fondly of Mario Party on the N64 though, but mostly the first one. Feline Frequencies welcome in. Stream went badly. Certainly not. Certainly not. Do you like being upside down? Yeah, it's one of our channel point redemptions. It's kind of against my will, but I'm happy about it. Turn the frown upside down is what they do. Thank you for the follows. I've got so many people to thank here. What a wonderful problem to have. Blue Collar Gamer, thank you. Nihilistic Radish, ISO the Geezer, Wampasaurus, Almar, if you want to tell me how to pronounce, if there's a way to pronounce that second part of your name there, is it Aslas, Weerar, Armageddon, and Tom Servo. Welcome to the stream, Tom. But pleasure to have everyone here. So I'm Frownie, of course, and I stream several nights a week. I'm primarily a retro streamer. We kind of try to maintain a chill vibe here. You'll find that I try to keep what you see in here to be fairly family friendly. Sometimes the games aren't, but I just want everybody to be able to relax, have a good time, and not have much to worry about. We do anything from the Commodore 64 to the PlayStation 2 typically, or newer games on the Switch. I'm kind of a Nintendo fanboy, but not exclusively. I like to prioritize when I'm doing a first playthrough. It's very strictly blind, no research, no help, just maximum struggle. Sometimes I do challenge runs of brutally difficult arcade-style platformers that I love. Contra, Castlevania, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. We've done all of those deathless. Sometimes we do limited item challenges on top of that. And other times I play marathons of garbage. I really love jank, broken trash games. Usually licensed stuff that I'm able to get my hands on in high quantities. We've done marathons of like E.T., Powerpuff Girls, Scooby-Doo. All of them complete nightmares. We're gonna start one up. We're gonna start another one up next week, right? Because January must be Jankuary. But as for the nonsense we're gonna play, I'm kind of keeping that under wraps. I don't. I'm so cruel. I don't let my regular viewers know what horrors I'm going to unleash upon the stream. but surely there will be some good times mixed in there. I'm going to finish up this race here. I know I've done terribly on like I said, we're searching for collectibles. I failed to find it, but I gained wisdom. We're just going to take a moment to clear out this race and we'll be able to start fresh. Retro chill is perfect. Thank you. Where are you at in Dark Souls yourself, Frownie? Yeah, so one of the things we're doing is a Dark Souls playthrough. I defeated Seath the Scaleless is the last thing I did. I defeated Ornstein and Smo a couple weeks ago, and I defeated Seath the Scaleless about a week ago. Both of those battles, so Dark Souls, like everything else I'm playing, it's the day one, no internet experience. And people who've been watching my playthrough have been telling me things like, well, I've never seen anyone do it like that before, or I'm so happy you figured that out. I've been screaming at my monitor for hours. Both of those battles were kind of similar too, as why I mentioned them together, because my strategy was to go oops all arrows. And I danced around O and S for 50 minutes fighting them with nothing but arrows, and it was the most stressful experience of my life. Seath was amazing. For Seath, I just tucked myself into a polygon seam and cheesed him. And he had a miserable time, and I had an amazing time. Understood. Just say Almar. The other part is a letter code name. Right on. Much appreciated. Oh, bald, not bad, never bad with a patty stream. Okay. My apologies. Challenge runs, yeah, they take me a long time. The challenge runs take me a long time. Unfortunately, I'm not especially skilled. I'm not especially clever. My one superpower I have is I'm extremely persistent. I'm very stubborn. That could be seen as my greatest superpower or my greatest weakness. Titan 8207, welcome in. Thank you for the follow as well. I do have a YouTube. I archive the stream there. The stream archive is way far behind. I think I'm only caught up to August. I've been really crunching to get it caught up, but and we will get caught up eventually. I've got two channels I maintain there. One is kind of a raw VOD archive, and one of them is highlights, boss battles, jokes, goofy stuff from the stream. So thank you. Much appreciate if you'd like to take the time to check it out. My Lexi, welcome in. Thank you for the follow, and thank you for the follow too, Patty. Very much appreciate y'all coming on board. Ornstein and Smo might be the toughest fight in the entire game. Yeah, when I finished it, people were telling me, congratulations on completing the tutorial. And I said, while I appreciate the joke, calling it a tutorial doesn't even really work, because the idea of a tutorial is it's supposed to teach you something, and I can't say that I learned anything from that battle the way that I played it. The only thing that I learned is that if you commit to a super foolish idea long enough, you will eventually get lucky. Is that your very first Soulsborne game? It is, yes. I've never played any sort of Souls game or Souls-like game. I don't play a lot of modern games, and I don't play a lot of RPGs. I was telling people, The thing I think I've played that's most similar to Dark Souls is maybe Skyrim. And when I said that, the chat said Skyrim and Dark Souls are complete opposites. So I don't know. That's you know, a fantasy adventure game with RPG stats. There's a lot. I don't know what I'm doing in the game, but it's a lot of fun because when I succeed, it's like it's a real achievement. But boy, it's painful. That poor dragon rush pirate. You're way ahead of me, buddy. I still need to defeat Qualog, the spider, the fire spider lady. That was a real. She was a real roadblock for me, Big Evil. I was stuck there. I was stuck there for a couple nights. It was and it was bad too because I was not only was I stuck there, but my good weapon broke. I was in a big trouble. I subscribe to both channels on YouTube. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. You get a kind of, I'll give you the heads up, you get kind of long droughts where there's nothing uploaded from me for a couple weeks, and then you'll get long stretches where I'm super consistent, and you'll get like 5 or 6 videos a day. So it's all feast or famine. Eventually, like I said, I'm trying to crunch it and get caught up, and when I do, I know I can fall into a regular pattern now, but I gotta get there first. How spite works, exactly. They both have health bars that has to count for something. Yeah, and yeah. And I here's the thing about that. When I finally took them down, I 200%ed Smo. Because my thought was, well, maybe if I can kill him, because I figured out I killed Ornstein and saw Smo become super powerful. Or no, I did the other way. I killed Smo and saw Ornstein become super powerful. And I was like, oh, that's bad. Well, maybe if I kill Ornstein first, maybe Smo won't do that. I knew he was going to do that, but I thought maybe he won't. And so I went for it, and nope, Smo becomes super powerful when you kill Ornstein first. So I thought, well, maybe if I take both their health down and kill them at the same time. And I got them both to like a pixel of health left. But I couldn't kill them simultaneously. So then I had to fight Smo again. Oh my goodness, thank you very much, Weerar. Hey, thank you for the gift subs. I really appreciate that. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for the 5 gift subs. Very generous of you. I really appreciate that. That is tremendous to come in and help out this stream like that. Thank you. So take a key for coming in, my friend, and to Arctic Aika, Dressy Chalice, Buffalo Hopscotch, Thrifty Amble, and Autobus. If you are lurking, my friends, take a key for coming in as well. And Tusk, take a key for coming in. Thank you for the sub. Patty said if I liked him, it was his fault, so blame him. Fundamentally the same, but characteristically different. A spider that you can't kill it with fire is terrifying. So, all kinds of spiders are terrifying. There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than going into one of the rooms of your house and finding a giant spider there and thinking, oh boy, well, I don't get to go back in there for several weeks. It's his room now. We only need one more sub and you get a hype train, Tush says. I mean, you've already been so generous. I'm more than blown away as it is, Tusk. Thank you. All right, I'll start pushing some buttons again. We'll see if we can win this race. We'll try to do a little bit of gaming while we chin wag. It'd be sort of a dip in my reading ability, you know, while I'm driving. Don't text and drive. It's tremendously unsafe. But I do promise to try my best to catch up with everyone between the races. My goodness. What a terrible use of the speed. What a terrible use of the speed item. That couldn't have gone more poorly. So I'm trying to think of other things that we've been up to on the stream recently to fill people in. We've been doing the Dark Souls playthrough. We've largely been finishing stuff up here lately, though, so it's more about starting things. We've got our, like I said, we've got our Jankuary marathon coming up a week after next. And some of the other things I'd like to start up kind of soon would be a first playthrough of Battletoads on the NES. That's a game I've never touched before. I imagine it's going to take several nights based on its reputation. I'd like to get through that. We just finished up some challenge runs of Castlevania on the NES. Last year I did a Deathless run of that, and then this year I did whip-only Deathless, and then we just finished a Damageless run, any percent Damageless, for the first time. So I've also got to start up a new challenge here pretty soon. And I'm kind of thinking Battletoads might be one. We might try and go for a 1cc or I don't know if Deathless Battletoads is an option. I don't know much about the game yet, though. I don't know if it even has continues, so. But I'm suspecting, since it's the punishing games that I always gravitate to for the challenges, I'm suspecting that's what we might look at after our first playthrough. I'll probably want to stick with it for a while. And they're going to do the Minish Cap sometime soon here. I've never played that one before, so first playthrough of that will be something I'm really looking forward to. I've never done a first playthrough of a Zelda game on the stream yet. We've done a handful of Zelda games, but they've always been, because I'm a longtime Zelda fan, they've always been ones that I've enjoyed from my childhood. So it'd be nice to do one that I haven't actually played before. I think our time for being upside down has expired, so we're gonna flip that. Tusk says, Frownie, you're one of the kindest people on Twitch. You're too kind, Tusk. Thank you. Thank you. Tight lines and solid drifts, doing great. It kind of fell apart. I was doing okay for a while. It kind of fell apart. As soon as I hit enter, it's my fault. No, if there's something I'm good at, it's tripping at the finish line. After Survival Kids, Minish Cap is going to feel awesome. Survival Kids felt awesome. If you don't know that, Survival Kids, it's a survival game. It's a Game Boy Color game. You're trapped on a deserted island. You've got to collect food, water, and manage them. You've got to collect items. There's light crafting. Like take a vine and a flexible tree branch to make a bow. like that kind of thing. Survival Kids on the Game Boy Color is a game definitely worth checking out if you like that kind of stuff. It's kind of primitive, but really impressive for the Game Boy Color, and it's a big open game with a lot of endings. I got devastated by it though. Because there was a project. I don't want to spoil the game for people who haven't played it, but there was a project I was working on that in the game. Basically, you have to collect some very difficult to collect items, and I needed one more. And I got the last. Did I get the last one or the next to last one? Anyway, I'd struggled for so long, and I was at the last or next to last of these items, and then I accidentally got a different ending than the one I was working toward, and it killed my playthrough. I lost weeks of work. So you gotta watch out. You gotta watch out with that game. You could stumble into an ending you don't want at any time. Thank you again. My goodness. Thank you for the 3 months. That's very kind of you. Thank you for that. Oh no! Oh no! I thought you clicked on a wrong button there for a moment. You were sympathizing with me. Thank you. Oh, it was terrible, Titan. It was terrible. I lost my mind for a minute. I started arguing with the game. I went through it. It was heartbreaking. I went through the 5 stages of grief. I seriously did. The game gave me a piece of text that said basically they lived happily ever after, and I yelled, "No, they didn't." I denied the ending. I got outraged. I started trying everything I could to reload my saves and avoid that ending. Tried to cut a deal with the game. It didn't work. I went through all 5 of them. I fell into a black cloud of sadness, and then I just gave up. It was textbook. It was textbook. If you're a psychology major out there and you're doing a paper on Kubler-Ross, you have my permission to use the VOD as a case study. I'll never recover. So that's another game we have to go back to. That's another game we get to go back to. Think positive. What's the origin of Secret Meats? I'm a huge Castlevania fan, and sometimes that's the only thing to help you get by. I'm a real big fan of classic meat sprites in video games. So we've got there the Secret Meats. That's actually modeled from Castlevania Bloodlines. The meat in that game is a mutton. And as meat goes, I'm actually very fond of mutton, though I rarely get to eat it. I've got an emote for it, that right there, and then I've got the classic Castlevania 1 pork chop, you know, both drawn in sort of a cartoony style there. Good old wall chicken, exactly. I really like. I think it's Final Fight on the TurboGrafx. Final Fight. Ultimate Final Fight. I don't know. It's just not a game I played. I think it's one of the Final Fight games. I know it when I see it. It's got a really great meat sprite. It's got the same sort of like bone loaf as the mutton there, but it's big and high quality. It's a really good meat sprite. I can picture you holding the game over a bridge and monologuing to it. I had a locket with a picture with a portrait of the game inside, and I cast it into the sea. A bone loaf, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I heard that term not that long ago, and it cracked me up too. I think it's perfect. Meat Sprite makes me think of salami and pastrami instead of limited line. Oh. If you're familiar with the Jones Soda Company, they make like cream sodas, like blueberry lemonade soda. They do a lot green apple soda. They do a lot of weird flavors. For a while, they were doing holiday flavor packs. This is real. You look it up. They're doing holiday flavor packs where they did sodas in traditional like Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner flavors. I tried one of them one time, and they are horrific. There was like Brussels sprout soda, a turkey and dressing soda, cranberry something. There were 5 or 6 of them. And one year, my mother bought me a pack of those for me and my girlfriend. She's my wife now, but she was my girlfriend at the time. We were in college. We weren't going to be able to come home for the holidays one year. And my mom sent us a pack of those so we could have a Thanksgiving meal. And they were stunningly horrific. They were so bad. I have another memory of my mom, another gift from my mom. It was around Christmas time, and I was sort of again. I was in college, so it was around the same time. I was at home and just kind of sitting around with my mom in the living room, and there are all the presents or whatever. And there was a big one, with my name on it, and I was kind of playfully like trying to figure out what it was. I didn't really want to figure it out, but I was just kind of playing with her. But I was asking some questions about it. I don't remember what she said, but something she said about it made me ask, can I drink it? And she thought for a moment, and she said, I suppose you could, but I'd be sitting outside of a hospital when I did it if I were you. Which got my attention. And what the gift ended up being was a lava lamp. Perfect description. I suppose you could drink it, but I'd be sitting outside of a hospital when you did. But in my mind, whenever I think about that, I always think that she was talking about those sodas. My first place it goes to when I remember my mom saying that was that she must have been saying it about those sodas, and I have to correct myself. But it would have been appropriate either way because they were dreadful. Not inaccurate. Yep. Turkey or ham soda, yes. Cranberries a maybe, yeah. Yeah, one of them was a dessert. I don't think the one we had the cranberry in it. I think the cranberry we had one of the holiday sets. There were 2 of them. But I remember looking up the one that we didn't have. And I think that one had cranberry, which would be great. I love it. It's not a holiday meal for me unless there's like a cylinder of cranberry jelly on the table. And I want that low quality cranberry jelly that comes out of the can, and you can still see the lines of the can after it sort of plops out onto the bowl. It's gotta be that specific deep shade of purple, and it's gotta have those can lines in it to be cranberry sauce for me. I don't want anything. I don't want you to make me anything homemade. That's one of my favorite things to have on the table. And so yeah, cranberry soda sounds wonderful, but I don't think we got that one. I think ours was a pie, and maybe pumpkin pie. I remember it being tolerable, but all right, all right. I'm gonna abandon this race and search for the collectible. It's clear we're doing. I'm underperforming, so I'm gonna sort of scour the landscape here for the collectible. One of the things this game. Apologies if I'm re-explaining stuff, but I don't want anyone to be under the misapprehension I'm intentionally wasting our time. One of the things this game does that's different to the regular Mario Kart formula is it has a side quest. There are 4 collectibles hidden somewhere in the game, and you kind of have to... You kind of want to go off the beaten path for a while to try and find them. And this is one of the... I haven't searched this stage yet. There's one collectible left for us. I don't know what level it might be in. Could be in any of them, so... If I'm losing the race anyway, it's a good time to take the opportunity to just do a search. Dessert beers are totally a thing. Dessert sodas have to as well. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it though, like a lot of like a cream soda is basically a dessert soda, right? That canned cranberry is delicious, Tusk says. Oh yeah, I've gotta... I could eat, I could probably eat a whole can of it myself. I exercise restraint in the spirit of the holiday and share some of the canned cranberry with everyone else at the table, but... Oh, we found it! Yes! That's beautiful. That's collectible number 4. We've got them all. Now we just have to finish this race to lock it in. Alright, it was all worth it. Oh, what a great race. Great for me. I'm in 6th place, and I'm the happiest of all of us. I found my missing collectible. I still have to go around another time because I drove a full lap in reverse. I have to 200% lap 3. Uh-oh. That cranberry on some toast with eggs the day after the holidays is great. I have to once again embarrass myself with the reminder that I'm a terribly picky eater. I love that cranberry sauce, but when I serve it up for myself, I have to put it on a different plate because I'm worried about it touching any of my other foods. I'm a horrible monster. As the saying goes, you can eat or drink anything at least once. I'm describing tomahawk steaks and T-bones this way forever. A bone loaf. Meat sprites. All right, we got that. So I'm reminding the chat just a little bit. If I missed a comment from anybody, my apologies. It's definitely not intentional. I try very hard to keep up with the chat. I'm just not always great at it. All right, let's get our reward. Piece number 4. This is a game. I've been telling this story all night. This is a game I got for Christmas when it was new. That's why we're playing it tonight. It's specifically Christmas nostalgic to me. I got this game for Christmas. I played it for the rest of the vacation. And so while my memories of the game were really fuzzy because I haven't played it in 2 decades, I remember having a blast with it for the holiday. I just remembered that I played it and that I liked it. One of the other gifts I got was a CD of the soundtrack to Jim Carrey's The Grinch. So you can bet every day I played this game and I had that CD on loop in the boombox next to me. And those two things are fused in my mind. So while you may be enjoying these classic Rareware tunes happen in the background, the only thing that I'm hearing is Jim Carrey rapping with Busta Rhymes as in character as the Grinch while I play this game, because they are forever, those neurons in my brain are forever entwined. And while I would never encourage consuming illegal media, I will point out to you that that soundtrack, someone has uploaded that full soundtrack to YouTube. So if you would like to relive my childhood memories, you could very easily have that playing in the background while you enjoy the stream. I won't tell anyone. And then you can be just as crazy as I am. I hadn't even seen... I don't even think I saw the movie until years later. That's why it's rare music. Did you get the CD from Columbia House for 95 cents? That might be... I don't remember who gave it to me, but that might be what they paid for it. The music reminded me of Banjo-Kazooie so much. Yeah, this is I believe a rare game. So, I mean, yeah, some of the music has a banjo flavor. Some of the assets, some of the buildings and textures, they look right out of Banjo-Kazooie. The Grinch soundtrack is on Spotify. Well, there you go. There you go. Oh, Where Are You Christmas? And I think there's a song, I don't know what it's called. It might be called The Perfect Christmas Night. I think it's one of the songs on there. Carrie's a cover of You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. Oh. That's some high quality nostalgia for me. Did that once as a kid, and my mom never, ever, never, not once let me live it down. Smash Mouth is on the soundtrack, automatic banger of an album. All right, so I would like to eventually get all of the. I would eventually like to get all the platinum trophies in this game. Another difference from Mario Kart. In Mario Kart, it doesn't really matter how perfect you perform. As long as you have the highest amount of points, a gold is a gold, and that's the highest there is. It's not so. It's not so in this one. There's bronze, silver, gold, but if you're in first place all 4 times, you get a platinum trophy. And I would like to go for all the platinums. Right now, we're settling for gold. We'll loop around at some point and get all the platinums. Excuse me. So... We got that piece. I was talking too much, and I didn't actually see what our reward was. Oh, there's a whole other cup. I thought... Oh, no. I thought we were going to get a new vehicle or something. There's another cup. Wow. This game just keeps on giving. Wow. So this will be new to me. I don't think I ever played these when I was a kid. I think I probably unlocked this, but I don't think I ever unlocked this. Ooh. All right, let's sit back out just a moment. I want to look at the stats. We unlocked a character forever ago, and I never looked at his stats. Right here. Alright, so better handling and top speed with a little bit worse acceleration. That might be worthwhile. We might want to switch. Yeah, I think we'll probably want to do that. In the movie, there's a scene where the Grinch yanks on a tablecloth, and the stuff was supposed to go everywhere. Carrie accidentally pulled the tablecloth without moving anything on the table, so he walks back and knocked everything off. Perfect. Perfect. What preference do you lean to, acceleration or top speed? I've always felt the acceleration characters are faster than the top speed characters. I don't think I'm skilled enough to drive around without bumping into stuff. So I lean toward high acceleration. Hey, here's a good friend, Buddha Fingers. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. I hope you can see and hear us. Great to have you here, my friend. Merry Christmas. Let's give a shout out to Buddha Fingers here. Hopefully I can type correctly. Grand Theft Auto 3. I saw you playing that the other day. And welcome in, Raider. Can I call you Ads? ADSFJSKH. If there's something else you'd rather go by, or if you would like to teach me how to say your name, I would greatly appreciate it. But Merry Christmas to you, and thank you for joining us. That's good. Ads you shall be. Went to the credits in GTA 3. Nice. I've never played that game seriously at all. I've definitely played it, but I've only goofed around. Being able to get out of turns quickly is definitely a plus. Yeah, I like the acceleration because I make a lot of mistakes, and it's great to have the ability to recover. Double raid, another one's coming in as well. Kyle, welcome in. Great to have you here. Merry Christmas, Kyle. This is Kyle TX500. What were you doing tonight? Always some good times over on your stream. Games and demos, but what would you care to share? What were some of the crown jewels or jank disasters that you encountered tonight? Love some good old Mickey Speedway. This is fun. This game is fun. I haven't played it for 2 decades. I got this game on Christmas. That's why we're playing it on Christmas. I got it when it was new. I spent the rest of my Christmas vacation playing this game. I had the soundtrack to Jim Carrey's The Grinch. I put that CD in my boombox and put it on repeat. And I listened to nothing but that CD and did nothing but play this game for like 2 weeks, a week and a half. However long the rest of Christmas vacation was. Those 2 things are fused in my brain. All I can think about while I play this game is the soundtrack to that movie. And anytime I hear a song from that soundtrack, all I think about is this game. So if you really want the true nostalgic experience from my point of view, I know for a fact that soundtrack is on YouTube, but I've heard it's also on Spotify. It's a great GTA 3 is a great game in my opinion. Budafinger says, yeah, it's just one of those. It's a lot of those open world kind of games. I very easily become distracted, start making my own pointless goals, and wander off the story and the mission and the proper missions. Jumso, thank you for the follow. Thank you for coming on board with us. I really appreciate that. Merry Christmas to you as well. We beat Stray tonight. And then did some PlayStation Network Christmas browsing. Right on. Stray is definitely my game of the year, Kyle says. I'm a big fan of cats. I find the game to what I've seen of it, which hasn't been a whole lot. What I've seen of it has been tremendously cute. I like that about it. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, everyone. Tush says. Thank you. All right, let's go. I'm excited to try this because I just talked about playing this game a lot. I don't think I've ever played this cup before, so that's going to be brand new to me. But I would like to go back here. I've said I'd like to try and get the platinum trophies in all of the categories. But for now I'm kind of settling for gold. Really, I'd kind of settle for anything in professional on this one right now. Just to get something on the board, and we can loop around and get platinums a little later. But let's we're gonna try professional difficulty in this cup, and then we'll move along. This is a good time. It's an adorable game, very heartfelt and touching story, Kyle says. That hat is funny. Thank you, Shinyugo Zakawa. Hopefully I was close to accurate on that. Feel completely welcome to correct me. Thank you for joining us, and I am a fan of holiday hats. I've got a handful of them. We've been working our way through the collection each night this week. This game does not mess around. I play a lot of kart racers and still find this one tough. It's yeah, I think the struggle for all platinums is going to be a struggle. I've heard the final cup is frighteningly difficult. I thought this was the final cup, and I was like, well, this stage here is pretty tough, because if you bump into one of these rocks, you just, like, bumping into one of these rocks here is basically instantly losing. Already, I'm in 6th right now. I don't think I'm going to be able to recover. So I'm shaking in my boots currently because like I heard the last cup was very difficult. I thought this was the last cup. I thought this cup is very difficult. Now I know there's another cup that is going to be more difficult than this one. So now I'm very afraid. On the other hand, I did manage to complete Mario Kart Double Dash. And that is currently, for me, the most difficult kart racer I've ever played. So maybe eventually I will complete this one too. This 4th place here is a really terrible way to start a run at this. I think that it's probably in our best interest to back out and try to place a little bit better. Double Dash is easy though. It was not easy for me, Buddha Fingers. Double Dash was an uphill climb continually. I thought I was good. I thought I was good at Mario Kart until I played Double Dash. And now I don't know anymore. Because Super Mario Kart wasn't a problem. Mario Kart 64. Granted, I grew up with those two. But even, like, I thought I was pretty decent at Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 8. But Double Dash brought the pain every night. This is going badly again. Oops. Those stones! If I don't learn how to speed boost into my own baseball. If I don't learn how to avoid those stones, we're going to be on this level for a while. GTA 3 is the first and maybe only time that I experienced where I felt like the experience of playing a game affected my mind. I remember, I don't remember it super well, but the first time I ever played GTA 3 in high school, I went over to my friend's house, and he had just gotten it recently. And I don't even think I'd seen a whole lot on the PlayStation 2 at that point. But we stayed up all night playing that game. And just messing around, just taking turns, seeing how much destruction we could cause. Who could get the higher wanted level and last the longest. And it was just nothing but like 18 hours of playing that game. And like I feel like I'd never seen anything quite like it at the time. It felt like the most like open, the most freedom, the most realistic like game I think I could think of at that point. It was an amazing game. It blew my mind, and we stayed up all night playing it. And I remember the next day going home, and either a combination of playing that game and the sleep deprivation, I don't know what it was, but I get stuck in traffic. And for a moment, it felt to me like the real thing to do was to get out of my car and walk over to a car next to me and throw the person out of it so I could take their car and get home faster. like reaching for the door handle levels of like, it's only the natural thing to do right now. Very, very weird. Very weird experience to be so powerfully mind warped. Really like the song on this level? That is good to hear, Tusk, because I think we're going to hear a lot of it. It was mind-blowing at the time. There was nothing else like it. Yeah, I feel like it really changed, like it really changed things. Night Friends, Merry Christmas, Rush Pirate says. Merry Christmas, Rush Pirate. Appreciate your company tonight. Thank you for being here with us. Forgot to drop our welcome message in the chat a little earlier. We'll just drop it in there for anyone who may want to treat themselves to a summary of the stream. My dad got me GTA 3 when I was 6. Definitely damaged me for life in a good way. Feel like Battle Block Theater got some inspiration from Rare music now. Oh, Gaza Dazzler, thank you for the hydrate. Let me do that before the race starts. Hopefully it gives me what I need to win. Oh, I'm starting off bad. Maybe the AI will see how bad I'm doing and take it easy on me. Alright, second place, that's acceptable. That's acceptable for now. I was trying to think earlier and list off, like, trying to think out loud about what games I got for Christmas during my childhood. And it's kind of, I know I got a lot of games at Christmas, but it's hard to remember specifically which games those were. I feel like I probably always got a game for Christmas each year. I know Ocarina of Time was a Christmas gift. Oops. And I think Banjo-Tooie was a Christmas gift. I don't remember if Banjo-Kazooie was or not before that. I know Yoshi's Story was a Christmas gift. We got our Virtual Boy on Christmas one year. And I think the Super Nintendo was a Christmas gift too. So that would have come with Mario World. So, but other than that, like I can't specifically remember any NES or Super NES games being Christmas presents. I don't really remember them being birthday presents either, though. It's odd. It's odd. And I know that most of my collection had to be birthday and Christmas gifts because that was pretty much the only time I got games. Outside of the Nintendo 64 era, though. That really seemed to be like my prime years for receiving memorable Christmas gift games. After that, you know, like into the like GameCube, I would have been at the point where I was buying games for myself, and once that started to happen, I haven't received a game as a gift in a very, very long time because no one knows what I have and what I don't. But, you know, and now that I'm interested almost exclusively in stuff that's wildly out of date, no one even knows where to begin into like to try and shop for me for a game as a gift. I don't have any. I don't have any like in real life friends or family that are anywhere near as interested in retro gaming as I am. Jelly likes to play retro games, but she you know, she leans on me to do all of the collecting and point her in the direction of games to play. First place. Now I'm wondering, so each of these cups, there are 5 cups right now, but there were 4 before, and each of these 4 cups had a collectible hidden. I don't remember the game telling me anything about a 5th collectible to be hidden in the 5th cup, but I'm wondering if there might be something. I think it's probably going to be worth our while to go off the beaten path at some point in the 5th cup and look for a secret collectible that might give us some sort of a benefit, maybe another character or... That's really all I can think of that it could be. You know what? This stage right here, this stage is a lot like that the Yoshi level from Mario Kart 64. It doesn't have the pitfalls, but the way that the course branches, and there are these like gaps you don't want to drive across scattered inside. It reminds me a lot of that level. I want to say the music is even similar, but sadly, I have to say I can't think of what the music on that stage sounds like. But I kind of want to say, and the music's even similar too, just take a risk of a 50-50 shot of being right and knowing what I'm talking about. I hear a different song in my head, but I can't think of what game it's from. Oh, what I was thinking of what I was hearing in my head is the horse riding mini game from Ocarina of Time when you race against Ingo. I was hearing that music in my head and thinking that that was the Yoshi's level music. It's all... Everything's just bleeding together. My mind is mush. I am glad you are amused, Tusk. Here's some unsolicited advice for everyone, right? If you want some advice you didn't ask for, I would say it's definitely worth your while to develop a good sense of humor in regard to being able to laugh at yourself. Yeah, look at how frequently and how hard I laugh, and it's all at my expense. But I'm having such a good time. Streaming is fun. This is just like the other stage. None of them are like the Yoshi stage. They're all the same level. The piles of sand are just like the pools of water that we wanted to avoid before. The speed boost is in theory wonderful, but terrible because of the sharp corners. Amen to that, Kyle says. Life's too short to take everything so seriously all the time, right? Especially oneself, right? It's great. It's great. I've just because I blunder so much, I've got an endless well of free amusements. All right. Oh, how wonderful. You're almost there. One more victory, and Pluto will be saved. Bring those weasels to justice. That's right. There's actually a plot to this game. We're trying to find... nice work. You've unlocked a secret feature to find out what it is. All right, we'll look at the cheats page. I'm not turning... Never fear. I would never turn on something labeled a cheat. So far, the cheats all appear to be basically pointless or cosmetic kind of novelties. Were we not at the top? Did we just get silver? I thought we got the gold. Did I miscalculate? Did Goofy beat us? Okay, oh thank goodness. He was in the middle. I thought I'd messed up. Alright, we're okay. We're okay. Oh, but even though the cheats seem to give you no actual advantage, because they're labeled cheats, I can't bring myself to turn any of them on. Unlimited retries? Oh, alright, that one hurts. That one would be useful. Like the heckle button I thought was useless. The rainbow goo seemed to be purely cosmetic. That one hurts. Unlimited retries. Oh, that stings. Alright, here we go. This is unexplored territory for me. I am sure I've never played these levels before. You got this, Frownie. Thank you, Tusk. This is the big boy set of maps. Yeah, I've heard that they are a thing to be feared, and I am afraid. But I will, as always, face my fears. For the amusement of all. Coconuts in the way, alright. I mean, we're starting off on amateur difficulty. Just learn the tracks. This should be, you know, freshly fallen coconuts, too. Coconuts do grow on trees, right? I was just thinking to myself, I was about to say, you know, you always see coconuts growing on trees in video games, right? But in real life, coconuts don't grow on trees, they grow on the ground. But no, they do grow on trees, right? What I was thinking of that grows on the ground is pineapples. Pineapples don't grow on trees, do they? Hellraiser Cinnabites, welcome to the stream. Pleasure to have you with us, and thank you for the follow. Merry Christmas. I hope you are very well. So much for the casual, easy stroll through the levels I was talking about, right? That baseball. Ooh, this is a rough start. It's even difficult on amateur mode. All right, we are clearly not going to win. I'm gonna drive to the finish line, and then we're gonna take the course in reverse. We're gonna look for another secret, and then we'll see about retrying and moving on. All right, so secret hunting mode. Let me catch up here, though. Yes, pineapples are the weird ones. They are, they grow on a bush. Okay, fair enough. Were those the weasels from Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I don't think they're supposed to be, but you know what? There seems to be a relationship there. My Lexi, if you're about to say something and realize it's wrong, say it anyways to wind people up. Good advice. Is it a pineapple tree or a bush? Yeah, I think they grow on the ground like a bush. I like that train of thought. Pineapples grow on pine trees, duh. It's a shrub or something. It's a plant, not a tree. Alright, yeah. I know I've seen pineapples being depicted growing on a tree somewhere before, though. Gravity gets really strong there on that ledge. Oh, hang on. Doesn't look like there's anything there, but I've got to do this anyway. No. Oh, it's like you slide back down. All right. It's very adamant to stop you from hanging out up there. If anyone remembers, if you remember when I thought an oyster and a clam were the same thing, I was just trying to get people riled up. I didn't really think that. I was just playing dumb for laughs. You might be going the wrong way. I was. It was on purpose. The levels sometimes have a hidden collectible, so if you've lost the race anyway, it's a good idea to run it in reverse to look for collectibles. They're much easier to find when you're driving in reverse, I've found. In fact, I think I found all of them by driving in reverse. Also lets you, just appreciate the track from a different perspective. The way that guy says stormy weather is fantastic. Driving around the track, seeking secrets is making me think of Diddy Kong Racing. I haven't played that one yet. I think I'll love it when I do, but that's one I still haven't gotten around to. Fair enough, Buddha Fingers. I didn't know if you're poking fun at the game or just messing with me. You have to you have to admit it's fair to suspect you of either. I think when you I think when you fail out on the first level, I think it might not actually cost you a retry. I think I might be backing out for no reason. Racing game with a true single-player mode, not just race all the tracks once in order for Diddy Kong. That's exciting. Alright, we're going to do a great job this time. We've seen all of the surprises this track has for us. We will overcome them all flawlessly. I guess this is supposed to be Hawaiian music, but it sounds a little country western to me. I definitely think there's a... Definitely think there's a steel guitar in there somewhere. I don't know if that's a staple of Hawaiian music or not. I can't say that I know a lot about it. But I'm definitely hearing some Nashville in this. Also, this is Hawaii. Most of the locations we go to are named for cities. This one is undoubtedly named for a state. All right, there's not a city in the U.S. named Hawaii. There's not a Hawaii, is there? I don't know how I'm ever going to manage that turn in a higher difficulty mode. Dropping that baseball right there is the best move. Frownie, I swear it's like Dum Dum Lollipops or the pineapple hard candies that have the liquid/jelly centers. What are we talking about that's like those? I missed what that's being compared to. Very fun. I know I've seen pineapples on trees. Oh, on a wrapper of sorts. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. I think Dum Dum Pineapple. Well, this one doesn't have little trees. I can picture a Dum Dum wrapper with little trees on it. It might just be like a fruit punch flavor or something, though. Or maybe they've changed the wrapper, because the current Dum Dum does not have little trees on it. Pineapple flavor, it doesn't look like. I know what you're talking about, though. I can picture it in my mind so vividly. My quick image search provided nothing, unfortunately. But yeah, I can picture a Dum Dum wrapper with little green trees. I always like those little Dum Dums lollipops. I like that they have like a million flavors. They're not super satisfying, like, in and of themselves as a candy, but the fact that they just have infinite flavors. That alone is exciting. Oregon, another state. Same thing in your head? Yeah, but I don't think it's pineapple. I think it's just like tropical punch or something. So they can say no. They have plausible deniability for when we accuse them of presenting pineapples as being the fruit of a tree. Oh, I bet there's something hidden over there. What? What is this bridge? Oh no! How am I ever going to drive that at high speeds? This is over. This is over. No human can drive that. That bridge is TAS only. I really think there's probably a secret hiding in there. Not only is it like a frightening narrow bridge, it springs up out of nowhere on a sharp turn. My fortunes have been completely reversed. Also, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a secret hidden in that area that is very obviously open like that. It's far too obvious for there to be really a secret there. No! Oh, what a nightmare. Alright, don't cross the finish. Alright. Exploration time. Kind of like this area out here. I just want to take a moment and look around. Hello, boat. It's kind of cool. Oh, well, Goofy just nope. Don't worry, I'll catch up. Merry Tree Day, Mr. Frownie Losses says. A Merry Tree Day to you as well. Welcome in, Losses. I hope you are doing very well. Welcome to Mickey Speedway. We're going for gold medals sometimes, and sometimes we're looking for secrets. If you're not familiar with the game, there are collectible items hidden in some of the levels. And I kind of lost this race anyway, so we're taking the opportunity to search for collectibles. There's something. There might be something going on up there. Let's see if we can get a better look at that. Doesn't it look like there's something up there? Those branches. Well, I suspect maybe not. It definitely caught my attention. It looked intriguing for a moment. Oh. Oh. Never mind. This game really does love to repeat that. All right. Well, I think we've missed our chance for. I don't think there's a thing to find. Not only was there not a collectible in that place where there's two holes in the wall right next to each other, but you can't even drive in there if you try. If you try, it immediately resets you. Sorry, my tablet fell asleep. I'm trying to wake it back up. There we go. From the top. Now we know what awful things this level has in store for us. Why did I have to be hit by the first baseball? Oh, poor me. And they're getting all the coins. They're all so rude. If I can just not fall off the track, it'll be a victory of sorts. My thoughts exactly. I don't know who said that. This isn't quite fair. Oh, that's how I feel. This turret is so sharp. Terrifying, terrifying game. Whoa. I think we got it. Victory. Wow. We take our victories where we can get them. That's what you got to do, right? Happy Christmas, Gurisoma. Good to see you. Happy Christmas to you, my friend. I hope the day is finding you very well. We are having a lot of fun with a pretty challenging game. Texas. Excuse me. We finally have a track set somewhere I've lived. Undoubtedly, this will give me a tremendous advantage. Oh, what's going on in here? We got a track set in an oil refinery. And a farm, perhaps? Alright. Well, I'm always wrong about this, but hey, here's another level that looks like it has tremendous potential for hidden secrets. How are things for you? Things are well for me. I'm this game. So I picked this game to play on Christmas. This is a game I received on Christmas when I was a kid, and I remembered liking it quite a bit. I never made it as far as I've made it tonight, though. I thought I played it fairly complete, except I knew there was a collectible that I'd never managed to collect. Or I thought I remembered there being a collectible I never collected. I think I had somehow broken the game because I feel like at one point I even cheated and looked up where the item was supposed to be, and when I went there in the game, it just wasn't there. I could be mistaken, but that's how I feel like I remember it happening. So the tracks that we're racing on now are things I've never seen in this game before. It's kind of fun to find, what seems to be new content. Like, oh no, I forgot to turn around. What seems like it could be new content in the game you thought you knew. It's an oil refarmery. Grisoma says, I'm at the end of my day soon. I'm coming up on the end of my day. I'm gonna need to. I'll need to head to bed after a while. I got a while yet, though. Not rushing out. Soon, but I will need to go to bed at some point so Santa Claus can come. Leave me lots of great presents. Always fun to go something you played and find a new thing. Yes, yeah, and I found a whole additional cup's worth of tracks. Baseball again, and Colorado. You know what? I thought Alaska was going to be the best level in the game. I take it back. I think Colorado is the best level in the game. My favorite level, I never knew it existed until now. This is a... This is a monster of a level. I haven't even run the whole track, and I can already tell this is a beast of a track. Ski lift. Yeah, this place is great. How on earth am I ever going to become proficient enough to get the platinums? There's a shortcut there. Oh, but you need a speed boost to make that shortcut, I'm sure. I have to deliver this kind, spoiler Frownie, but Isaac just eats those cookies you leave out. I always thought that Santa made an awful mess. Cookie crumbs and milk all over the floor. Even with the speed boost, I didn't make that jump. How humiliating. Alright, well, we're gonna do the whole backward thing. Just don't cross the finish line. Stormy weather. I love the way he says that. That's my favorite. It's my favorite power-up in the game just because I like to hear him say stormy weather. Alright. Kind of admire the... Where? How far back did I get dropped? Where am I? Oh, okay, never mind. I didn't understand the map properly. Quest for secrets. I think that Texas level is really the level we should have looked at. Too bad I won't have a traditional Japanese Christmas dinner this year, Gurisoma says. KFC. Yeah, I've heard that's really big over there for Christmas. A wildly successful advertising campaign. I really liked the KFC when I lived in Thailand. They had a spicy... had a spicy option on their menu when I lived over there, and I don't know what the blend of spices were, but they were amazing. The Thai KFC, I think, is my favorite. Maybe my favorite fried chicken I've ever had. I should really like try and do some research and see if I can figure out what that spice blend was, and I could like attempt to make something close to it. That'll never be right, but it would definitely be worth the effort. I'm sorry, it's so dreadful to hear this. You're going the wrong way 100,000 times, but we've got to explore. But yeah, I think if there is a fifth secret, I think Texas is definitely where it's hidden, because that level is so big and complicated. All the rest of these have been kind of straightforward and just their design. Not a lot of clutter around for hiding things. Straightforward but brutal designs. All these turns and no railing, I'm doomed. I have a hard time imagining Colonel Sanders as a holiday figure. Oh, I misunderstood what that railing was. This game is pretty generous with like the signs to tell you where the turns are. I do think it benefits you to look down at that map quite frequently, but if you don't, if you're a fool like me and you don't use your map, if you pay enough attention to what's just on the screen, otherwise, there are a lot of good signs telling you what's ahead. Oh, I should have picked up those coins. Well, this is an item I'm terrified to use. No, what? Right into the wall. No. mean, it's not. I can't really be surprised at being passed because I have my thumb off the accelerator pretty much as I have it on. I disagree with that baseball. I was holding back. I was putting it behind me. I don't know why it went where it went. It's unexplainable. That's more like it. I slowed down a lot. Someone's coming with a star. No! No! Someone passed me with a star. No, I could hear them coming. They got me. That is exceedingly cruel. Alright, we still got a gold, though. It's hard to complain about that, right? I'll grab a shower. I'll lurk while I do that. You have fun, Frownie. Thank you, Gary, so much. Appreciate the lurk. Have a wonderful shower. I'll just be hanging out upside down for a while. Probably gonna get a... No? I thought for sure we were gonna get a credits roll or something there. I guess amateur doesn't really count. Alright, so... try and get the gold on intermediate. Lots of luck, huh? And then, but also try and make time to explore Texas if things go badly. Imagine how hard it'd be to wash your hair in an upside-down shower. My showers of late have been very utilitarian. I've been, you know, with my plumbing situation being in question, I don't want to run the shower for any longer than absolutely necessary. So I've been, you know, getting the job done, but using the bare minimum of water. So when we went to visit Jelly's relatives, we took the opportunity to use their shower and waste all of their hot water. There's one character on the map who is so far behind us. That's usually where I am. I think 5th place is a failure. Yeah. No? Yeah. But here it should be resolved soon. I mean the plumbing ones, by the way. Well, my foot's getting better. I no longer need a crutch to walk around, though I still can't really move anywhere very fast, and probably shouldn't lift anything very heavy for at least another couple days. But I'm almost to the point where I can I'm almost to the point where I'm gonna be in good enough shape to sort of stress test the pipes, because right now my plumbing situation is in limbo, because ever since I snaked the line, I haven't been able to test whether or not it's working better. So like all of my caution could be pointless currently. It could be that things are working fine and I'm just not, you know, willing to test it to find out. Or it could be that nothing has been fixed and I need a pro, but I mean, in which case, you know, we'll hire a pro. But yes, Buddha Fingers, I will not, you know, I will not live forever without proper plumbing. It's just the sort of situation of things happening at the same time have put me into a weird spot where I'm unsure of my own repair job and don't want to unnecessarily hire someone to fix something that I've already fixed. That I may have already fixed. It might take a very long time to get out of this level on this difficulty. When you're near the front or in the lead, it's a very difficult situation when you pick up the remote controlled car or the airplane, because like you want to keep them in case you get past so you can attack to get your position back, but you also want to waste them so that you can pick up something that attacks behind you to keep your enemies away. So it's like, you know, do I hold on to this we're not. No. One way this game is very different from Mario Kart is in Mario Kart, the mushroom, like you can use the mushroom for shortcuts, right? To cut across places that are too rough to drive through. You can't do that in this game. The mushroom equivalent doesn't speed you across rough terrain. It's very, very unfortunate. I was like, in a lot of ways, no, we had the lead, get out of my way. No, that should have been our first place victory. In a lot of ways, the ability to cut your own shortcuts is the best thing about the mushroom, I think. I don't know what to tell you, Frownie. I'm just happy to be watching someone else drive for a bit. Always glad to have you in the passenger seat with me, Buddha Fingers. You know, I spent a lot of time with Grand Theft Auto 3. You know, playing with my buddy. But I think I'm actually more nostalgic for Vice City. I think we probably played that one even more than GTA 3. At least I did. Yeah, I think that's the one I spent more time with. Nope, I didn't play the story for it. I didn't play the story for either of them. I mean, I have the games now, but I've never actually played the stories for either of them. It's just all time just spent goofing off. All just playing for chaos. But the thing about Vice City is like one thing I like to do in Grand Theft Auto games is to find like really like high up in the air points to like launch my vehicle off of, so that I can, you know, sail through the air and usually fall and crash. Because like sometimes even in a game, you know, like that, when everything's just right, like even just making a jump like that, I can get that sort of weightless feeling inside my chest, like you get when you're on a roller coaster. Just from playing an old Grand Theft Auto game, and a lot of the music from Vice City, right, is music that you might hear out in your daily life, like on the intercom at a supermarket. And so there've been times where I've been like in the supermarket and I'll hear something like "Owner of a Lonely Heart" play on the intercom, and then I start to get that weightless feeling from Vice City. And it's powerfully nostalgic. If you didn't do the missions, how'd you unlock the map? Because it was my buddy's copy of the game. I would go over to his house and play his copy of the game. He did the missions and stuff, and then when I was hanging out, I would just play his game and just mess around. Cap Sid, hey, Merry Christmas. Wish all the best, my friend, to you and your family. Thank you, Cap Sid, and to you and yours. Thank you for supporting me in my wake-ups with your morning streams. Hey, happy to be here. I'm sorry that my streams aren't always long enough to catch your mornings. I'm very happy to have you drop in whenever we line up, though. I get that. I had a similar thing with my friend. We would drive the taxi, look for hidden packages. Yeah, just at the most I would do kind of side stuff in his game, and mostly I would just cause mayhem. No worries. No worries. No need to apologize for typos. Believe me, my typing skills when I'm in someone's chat, my typing is horrific. This level is undoubtedly going to make me scream a whole lot. This is just abysmal. Not only is the level terrifying, but it's just so... Everything's bad. I see why they give you infinite retries now. This isn't quite fair. This is normal difficulty. What do the V coins do? I think they're Mickey head coins. I think they're like the coins. I don't know for a fact, but I think they're like the coins in Super Mario Kart, where having a lot of them raises your top speed by a little. If that's not what they're for, I don't know what they're for. That's my assumption. Oh, beginning with a spin out. How long do you think before this game demolishes my pride and I go into the cheats menu and turn on unlimited retries? I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna be so sad if it comes to that, but I think it probably will. This turn right here is devilish. This game is not balanced to be beatable by human players. I must become inhuman. He's on the cursed levels now. I certainly am. I certainly am. I have a theory, but I'll keep it to myself. Much appreciated, Buddha Fingers. I've got a... Alright, I'm not completely out of ideas. I think if I do some, well... kind of thinking I might end up trying out some other characters. Alright, so this level, we're probably going to do the backward run. Oh. So I mentioned before, there's a Game Boy Color version of this game. I think I'm going to have to see if I can track that down. I kind of jokingly suggested I would play it next year on Christmas. But I think if I can get a hold of a copy, I'm not going to want to wait that long. So we may play it. If I can get a hold of a copy, we may play it before then. If it takes me a long time to get it, I might end up waiting until Christmas. We'll see. I wish I had thought about it in time I wish I had thought about it in time to get a hold of a copy, though. To do it tomorrow night, so that they could be so we could have a double feature. Because I might stream tomorrow night. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm kind of thinking we'll do a Christmas Day night stream as well. If my tomorrow goes as I hope it will. All right, don't cross the finish line. Don't cross the finish line. Maybe we'll find a secret on this level that'll make the game a little easier. Maximum props getting here though. Good stuff. Thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, I have the transfer pack. I'm not 100% sure what they do, so please don't spoil it for me. But we will. I do know it's compatible, and we will definitely check out what it does. Because there's only a handful of games that are compatible, right? There's this, Pokemon Stadium, of course. Perfect Dark is compatible. Mario Tennis is compatible. I don't really know what those games do either. I have some ideas of what they might or probably do, but I'll avoid speculating, but we'll definitely try and check it out. Don't want to spoil for sure. Right on. Thank you. I'm always really cautious, and I tend to remind people a lot. More than the people I'm reminding actually need. It's kind of more of like a benefit for the general audience that I've got. I have the wildest, strictest interpretation of spoilers of anyone I know. It really kind of hurts me to be told almost anything about a game. I can't believe there wasn't anything hidden among in that farm. In that barn, there's a barn that you can drive into, and there was nothing in it. Maybe it's on it. All right, it might be on a different difficulty though. That's what we'll check it out on the higher difficulty too. Oh, we're back here. Oh, this is good. I'm still going the wrong way. But yeah, look at this barn. You can go all the way in. There's nothing in here. Why can you go inside? There's gotta be something to that. I refuse to believe there's not. These guys are rude. Frownie's barnstorming. I'm kind of the same. Never end up checking out the thing I don't want to be spoiled on. Yeah, I've been guilty of that sometimes. What? I think I messed something up. You failed to qualify. Game over. Alright, that's alright. That's the worst possible way to start. Yeah, these levels are fiendish. This Hawaii level. I almost got first place on this Hawaii level. I was robbed. I was robbed a moment ago when we were here. 100%. See, this game is a lot like Double Dash in a way, because in Double Dash, when you fall behind in the higher kart classes, it is very difficult to catch up, and this game is just like that. If you fall behind, look at how far Daisy is ahead on the map. I barely get a glimpse of her every now and then. It is wild. It also just doesn't help that I'm just generally kind of bad at this. This game is brutal. Rare just made Kaizo Diddy Kong Racing. That is 100% what this is. I haven't even played Diddy Kong Racing, but I believe it. I've heard that Diddy Kong gets pretty tough at the end too, though. Donald! No! No! It's all falling apart. I was in first place for so long. Why? Why does it have to take everything from me? The token item. I know. I needed something that I could attack with so very badly. DKR gets a bit tough at the end, and that's facts. Yeah. Yeah, almost anything else would have been good. I mean, anything else would have been better. The paint weapon would have been pretty rough yet, because I'm not very good at throwing it, but I would have had a chance. It's alright, though. If we are persistent, eventually, with enough practice, it will become easier. I pretend like that's my philosophy, but my real philosophy is just that there's only so many ways to do something wrong, so if you just try enough times, eventually you'll exhaust all the ways to do it wrong and accidentally do it right. That's what I really believe. Yeah, I guess in regard to needing any other item, even if I had got the paint, I wouldn't have been able to use it to catch up with first place, but I would have been able to use it to stop third and fourth from passing me. So while I still wouldn't have maintained my first place, I wouldn't have lost so badly. No, not the grass. Victory! Oh my goodness. It's never going to be better than that. It's never going to be better than that. That's a good philosophy for life in general, to be honest. Just got to keep trying and making / learning from mistakes. Yep. Yeah, that's all it is, right? The greater your patience, the greater your potential. They are directly correlated. This this level right here is just straight from the depths of the underworld. Hey, that looks like Angelus is coming in for a raid. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome to you and to your friends. No one hit that baseball. You're telling I put a baseball in the middle of this bridge, and you're telling me not a single one of those characters hit it? I refuse to believe that's possible. Angelus, tell us about your stream. What were you doing tonight, and how did it go? We'll give you a proper shout out in a few moments. I'm getting pulverized by this game right now, but we're trying to have a good time. That turn on that bridge crushed too many dreams back in the day. That bridge is the worst. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't use that link. Don't use that link, anybody. I typed the wrong number. I'm going to delete my own message there. That's the right link for Angelus. Play Batman Returns games? Oh, cool. You did multiples? Batman Returns, I've only played the Super Nintendo game. I never owned it, I rented it. And it's like a beat-em-up game. I don't remember being very good at it, but I feel like I liked it because I liked the movie. How were the ones that you played though? Were there any good ones? I don't remember the Super Nintendo Batman Returns being bad, but it's beat 'em ups are not largely my thing. Tried it for DOS. Oh my goodness, which you never played before. Okay, not very good. Sorry, it takes a while to catch up with the chat because this game is hard to take your eyes off of it with these blinding speeds. But I will certainly catch up with you. I can't clear this stage. Game, give me a better item, please. If we fail out of this, I'm gonna switch characters to someone with better I don't know, better handling? I don't know. I'm going to switch. Alright, let's see. Played Batman Returns for the NES, which was a little better, but not by much. Batman Returns for the Genesis, which is just brutal. They give you the ability to have 7 lives, but they're not much help when the game is hard. Yeah, all of those versions are a mystery to me, I have to say. It's our last chance before a game over. That was probably a tremendous mistake. I think I actually hopped over that green slime. He took both the power-ups and then I fell off the bridge. Why? Why? Life is hard. Finally played Batman Returns for the SNES, which is my favorite. Finally beat it on easy, but you don't get the best ending on that. Understandable. Some, you know, it's kind of a disappointment, but I don't know. When it comes to things like that, like, I really feel like I get a knife in the heart when you beat a game on normal and it doesn't give you the best ending. When I beat a game on easy and it doesn't give me the best ending, I'm like, well, alright, I get it. But on normal, it's like, normal is like the default difficulty. I don't think a game should punish you for playing on the recommended difficulty level. All right, let's try. Yeah, and that's the worst when you don't get it on normal. Let's try a balanced character. Let's try Mickey. Let's just see if this is any different at all. Maniac. I'm not really crazy about using Mickey as my character. First impressions are this is bad, but I mean it's always bad, so. I need to not judge too quickly. I think I definitely want a character with better handling. I am hanging in there, though. Not hanging in there anymore. I was for a moment. I was up there in second place. I think I was wrong about not being able to use the mushrooms for speed boosts. I think that was unique to the character I'd been using. Mickey isn't cut out for this rat race, Budafinger says. Well done. Well done. Oh, right on. Third place, huh? We could have gotten second. We could have gotten second. I wasted a power-up right at the end. If I hadn't wasted that power-up, we would have pretty easily had second place. Is your hat feet coming out of a chimney? It is. It's Santa. It's Santa climbing headfirst down the chimney. Did you see it? Did you perhaps see it as something else? Yeah, let me abandon this. Let me try a character of a better handling stat. Balance is not the way to go. I don't know what the way to go is yet, but I know balance is not it. So... I mean, this handling stat's really good. I mean, this character is just objectively better than this one, right? Let's try Mini and see what happens. It's hard to make out the feet. Yeah. No worries. Earlier tonight, someone thought that these were eye stalks. Like I had an alien chimney on my head or something, so. The cutscenes are awesome, but not awesome enough to beat on Maniac difficulty without cheating, Angela says. Catwoman's tough enough on easy. Didn't want to try to beat her on a harder difficulty. I don't know if I would be able to do it, even. Because, yeah, I'm not super experienced with beat-em-ups. No! No! The racer chaser betrayed me. This game is hard enough without my items wasting themselves. That didn't get her. This is an evil game. This is an evil game. It wasn't Santa that delivered this game to me at all. It was another person. Wow, you don't see the opponents get this item very often. It puts me in a real storm cloud of a mood. I think there's a lump of coal under the sticker in this one. Beat Turtles in Time on the hardest difficulty, but Batman and Robin continues to give me troubles. Turtles in Time I need to play again. We did that once on the stream, but I haven't done that one legit yet. I cranked up my lives on my playthrough. I cheated. I think I could do it. I think I could do it without the cheating though. Because something I didn't know. The control options, the default control options in Turtles in Time are really bad for me. And particularly the way the dash is done, which is the dashing is set up to happen automatically by default, and I didn't know that it could be switched to manual. And knowing that, I think I could do much better if I had manual dash. So I've got to give that one another go. The automatic dash is just terrible. I'm a solo player. When you give a feature like that over to the computer, you're forcing the player to play co-op alongside an AI, and I don't like that. That's not technically a very good description of what's happening in Turtles in Time, but the principle still remains true. No, I was really hoping for a speed boost, but I'll take second place anyway. Gorish. That's how I feel, Goofy. Been fun, gotta get some sleep, wish I could stay longer. Thank you again for the raid, Angelus. Very much appreciate you. hope that you sleep well. And Merry Christmas. Would you ever consider Vice City or GTA for the stream? I think it may be a bit too adult for what flies around here. Yeah, Budafingers, I don't think I'd be very likely to play either of those on the stream. On the one hand, I want to say, like, you know, I have them, so I might as well try them out at some point. But on the other hand, yeah, I'm just, I'd be real worried that it would have more things in it than I'm really comfortable with on the stream. So I would say either of those are probably really unlikely. Bad kids got Cold for Christmas, but evil kids got Mickey Speedway. What are you saying about me? The stormy weather really does rain on your parade. It's crushing. I didn't mean it like that. My apologies. No worries. No worries. I'm just having a laugh. Well, looky there. Conga Line Monkey, welcome to the stream. Merry Christmas, Conga. Just woke up, can't stay, but wanted to wish you all a Merry Christmas. Thank you, my friend. A very Merry Christmas to you and yours, Conga. I will say you're probably not going to be missing a whole lot as it is though, because I don't know that I could endure this much longer tonight. I think I'm getting close to my limit. We're at 7.5 hours. I haven't even taken a BRB tonight. Excuse me. This is a marathon of a stream. We'll go a bit longer. I'm just I'm not making a lot of progress, so feeling the end creeping up on me. Turn right there is just the worst turn. Except for all the ones that are worse than it. Of which there are a distressing amount. I think I just set that trap for myself, because I don't think any of the AI characters drive over there. No one hit that baseball! Bogus. That was the perfectly placed baseball. Henry Ford himself couldn't have dodged that baseball. I know nothing of Henry Ford's driving prowess. I just know he has something to do with cars. And I couldn't think of any famous racers. Mario Andretti couldn't have dodged that baseball. What game are you thinking of next after this one? It's really hard to say. It's really hard to say abstract. Because I usually write out a weekly schedule every Sunday, and I haven't actually, you know, because this is my Saturday stream. I haven't written next week's schedule, so I'm not really sure. We tend to kind of jump around from console to console. I usually have a couple different games that I'm working on at a time, and we juggle them fairly regularly. I post we have a Discord, and I post the schedule in the Discord usually on Sunday evenings. So if you'd like, you're welcome to join our Discord. Frownie gets notoriously cagey this close to January, Buddhafinger says. Yeah, the schedule is kind of useless in January too, because most of the time the stream's a double feature. And in January, the first half of every stream just says jank. I don't usually like to give away what I'm gonna play during that special time of the year. Because if my regular viewers knew what trash was on the menu, they wouldn't tune in. January, love to hear it. Stoked you're playing this game, to be honest. It's one of those games. I've never met another person that's played it. I'm very happy that you found me tonight. Not only for that, but also for that. I like to play stuff that I like to go off the beaten path from time to time. I've got a kind of a strong hipster streak in me, I guess. Makes me want to play things that maybe other people aren't playing. I mean, we do a healthy dose of classics too. Just last week I was just playing, NES Mario games and Castlevania. Those are pretty standard. So it could go either way. I really want to do the Mario Kart thing to build up the drift boost, but I keep I know on an intellectual level that that doesn't apply in this game, but in my heart I want it to work so badly I can't stop trying it. This game is just giving me star power after star power after star power, and they're not enough to catch me up. I just got 4 stars in a row. Five in a row. Maybe if the game really wanted to help me out, it'd give me 5 clouds in a row. I gotta head off again. Probably catch you again soon. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Thank you for that. Merry Christmas once again. I hope you have a wonderful day. Or night, if that's the case for you. And yeah, I look forward to it. Look forward to having you here again. This will undoubtedly collapse, but this is the best I've done. No! It fell apart and so far into the race. It physically hurts. It physically hurts to be me right now. That was the scariest baseball I've seen in a while. Whoa. I sound exactly like one of the characters of the game. Whoa. I'm becoming an animated character. No, that was my baseball. No, that was my first place. This is the most heartbreaking video game. All right, my friends, I've hung in there and I tried to make it happen for us. I really wanted to perform better than that, and I'd love to keep going, especially when so many of you have been so kind to join us and to hang around. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves, my friends. But I think it's time to wrap up the stream. That was certainly a strikeout. It sure was, Butterfingers. I came so close. It's not without hope, right? We might be able to eventually make something happen here. But tonight, this doesn't look like my night. I'm going to find us someone to raid, my friends. And send us out. I do plan to be back tomorrow night for a Christmas Day night stream. I'll let you know in the Discord for sure tomorrow evening whether that's going to be able to happen. I certainly hope it's going to be able to. I don't know what we're going to do. Probably something really, really sort of familiar, something really comfortable. I don't know. I'm leaning toward maybe. I'm kind of leaning toward a casual playthrough of Mario World on the Super Nintendo since we've done the other Mario games recently. Might be nice to do that whole game and try to do that whole game in one sitting is something tempting. I've also got DuckTales, which, you know, Scrooge, kind of appropriate for Christmas. I haven't beaten that game yet. That might be a good one to pick up. So I'm bouncing around a couple ideas in my head. We'll see. I'll let you know. Yeah, that's happened. I've gotten yeah. I've played DuckTales on the stream before. I know what you're referring to, Butterfingers. There wasn't actually any penalty from it. But I will see. That's just a thought. I may back out of doing it. Give me just a moment, my friends. Could you do with a raid suggestion, Butterfingers ass? I might be open to a suggestion if it's a if you can point us toward if they're a smaller streamer and they're playing retro, I would be open to a suggestion. If it's someone that, you know, meets that category. Someone with a community roughly, you know, close to ours. A little bigger is alright, but I'd really like to head toward a, you know, since we've got a lot of people here, I like to use those kind of opportunities to give smaller streamers, people newer or with or still growing in the early stages of growing their community. I like to give them the opportunity and attention, and preferably playing something retro, just because that's, you know, my whole interest. Most of the people, there are a couple people I follow that are alive that I'm kind of thinking about, but I don't know if they're not, right now, they're not necessarily meeting those criteria. All of them. Fire away then. Alright, well, I'm gonna pull someone up here. We might head towards someone new. Regardless, I'm just gonna stroll through retro here. Well, the person I was looking at just changed to a thank you for watching screen. So I think they're about. It looks like they're shutting down. So. Thank you for your patience, my friends. I know this is terribly slow. Well, Budafingers, if you're still there, if you want to whisper me your suggestion, I may just take that after all. I'm having a hard time here. So yeah, just send them to me in a whisper. I'll check out the stream and might send us in that direction. Thank you. All right, well, we're going to meet someone new to me at least. Be honest, I'll probably be heading to bed, so I probably won't hang around a very long time, but I am definitely going to at least check out a little bit and leave a lurk. This is Kumba, primarily a Mega Man streamer according to Budafingers' recommendation, so I will accept no responsibility for what's happening on the other side. But we will trust it'll be the best. Itarama, great to see you, Itty, but we're actually raiding out. Merry Christmas, my friend, though. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So off we go. Thank you for your patience, my friends. Took a little while. I appreciate you standing by and coming along with us. I hope I get to see you again. I hope that you enjoyed the stream and you'll consider seeing us again. If you would consider perhaps following to make us easier to find, I'd greatly appreciate that. If you're interested in joining the Discord, you're welcome to join that. Just send me a whisper, and I will send you an invite as soon as I can. Always happy to have new people there, so you can get a hold of the schedule and you can see what we've played in the past and keep in touch with other regular viewers when the stream is not live. Merry Christmas, Frownie. Thank you, Budafingers. And Merry Christmas to everyone. Hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow night. Not 100% guaranteed, but I am going to try and make it happen. And if that doesn't happen, well, I'll be back again very soon. Most weeknights around 11 p.m. Central Time is when to find me. We go for about 6 hours, give or take. Longer stream tonight. It's been great to have you. But that's all I have for you tonight, my friends. One last time, thank you very much. I really appreciate you. It's time to head out, so let's go on an adventure.